Hey guys, it's Atheris here, and today I'm going to be bringing you through all of Aran's skills. I have been playing this class since it was first released in GMS back in December of 2009 and have loved every single rendition of it. With the most recent update, Aran has captured my love more than ever, and I'm happy to be finally making this video for y'all. Right off the bat, Arans are given their main mobility skill Combat Step, and it can be located in the Beginners tab. This allows us to fly off the edges of platforms. It can be used as a flash jump or to simply dash on the ground. It is important to note that this skill can be used 3 different ways. You can either use the command keys by double tapping right, left, or your jump key to activate it. You can also place it on a hotkey. My personal recommendation would be to lock the skill by right clicking it, as this will stop you from proccing the skill when you double tap left or right, because sometimes when you're making micro positioning adjustments you might accidentally proc Combat Step, which can end up being fatal. This has happened to me an embarrassingly high number of times, especially in Lotus. So yeah, just lock it. In the first job advancement, your 2 combat skills will be Smash Swing and Smash Wave. Smash Swing will be your spammable skill and can only be used with the basic attack key. I'm pretty convinced that Nexon has some secret partnership with keyboard brands, because I don't know why the description tells you to tap the attack key to use it. You can just hold it down to save your fingers and your keyboard. No need for unnecessary smashing. Smash Wave has a 3-second cooldown and can be used 2 different ways, either with the command keys or by hotkeying it. And again, you can choose to lock the skill so that you don't accidentally proc it. This option is going to be available for all of Aran's skills that are outlined in purple with the little C on the bottom right of it. Now, you might be asking why any sane person would choose to press 3 buttons instead of 1 to use the skill, as the command keys require you to press either down, right attack, or down, left attack, depending on which direction you want to send the wave. If you hotkey the skill, the wave travels a shorter distance versus using the command keys. So it is important to note that every skill that is outlined in purple will have some sort of added benefit from using it via the command keys. And if you haven't noticed yet, there should be a number somewhere on your screen. That's your combo count, and it will be crucial to keep track of later when you're bossing, as it controls your burst. For now though, with the passive skill Combat ability, every 50 combo stacking all the way up to 500 combo will give you stats. To get combo, all you have to do is attack mobs with any skill until it builds up. Every attack skill gives a different amount of combo, and these combo stacks never disappear, at least not for now. You can also move the position of this to wherever you want on the screen. So now you can keep track of your combo at all times by placing it somewhere in the middle. Body Pressure is a toggle skill that deals 500% damage when you bump into a mob, but be careful as you still take damage even though the description says it's reflected. As far as I know, there are no downsides to having this toggle on while bossing because it's not affected by damage reflect. With that being said though, it does prevent you from changing channels when you're on top of a mob, so I just have it permanently off because I'm lazy. And then last but not least, you have Agile Pole Arms, which is just a simple passive that gives attack speed and some strength. In the second job advancement, we get some crazy vertical mobility with Final Toss. Remember how I said purple outline skills benefit from command keys? This is one you definitely do not want to be hotkeying because you will lose out on a lot of verticality if you do. Press up attack to proc Final Toss once, and then press the same sequence again to proc it a second time. Combining Final Toss with Combat Step gets me even higher, but hotkeying barely gets me halfway. Just remember you can use Final Toss twice if you don't jump beforehand, so get in the habit of jumping up using Final Toss instead of actually jumping. You can use Final Toss, then Combat Step, then Final Toss again to travel further horizontally. This can also act as a combat skill since enemies get thrown up into the air, which then allows you to deal additional damage to them while they are airborne. The same effect is applied to Rolling Spin, but enemies aren't thrown up that high, so it doesn't really matter anyways. Using the command keys down, up, attack will stun your enemies, but it does not work on bosses, so do not expect this to work like a bind. Honestly, I never use a skill in general. It's almost as useless as the $470,000 blue ring my city calls art. At least Aran's blue ring looks nicer, I guess. Final Charge stuns your enemies as well when used with command keys, but it also pushes them in the direction of your attack. This is quite useful for gathering mobs together or just simply as a mobility skill. Depending on which way you want to use it, you always end in the direction you want to go. So for example, to proc Final Charge to the right, you would press left, down, right, attack, and to go to the left, you would press right, down, left, attack. Personally, I would lock this skill and just hotkey it because the command effect really is not worth pressing 4 buttons over. This next buff is extremely important to upkeep at all times, and thankfully they made it much easier to micromanage with the Destiny update. Swing Steadies is procced whenever you use Smash Swing. It provides 10% final damage for 12 seconds, and both of these numbers will be further enhanced later on. You do not have to use the full sequence of Smash Swing, you only have to press the skill once to get the buff. Swing Steadies now also allows you to simultaneously smash and swing in any direction, all while increasing the damage by 200%. Another reason why proccing skills via the command keys is important is because command mastery increases your skill damage by 5%, so if you can't one-shot mobs, then avoiding hotkeying might help you. It's also just a good idea to get in the habit of using command keys for extra damage while bossing anyways. And then you have your typical passive skills to finish off the second job. The third job advancement is probably the meatiest out of all of them because we get a lot of new combat skills as well as ones that build upon what we've been using thus far. Smash Swing gets further enhanced with Arrow Swing as attacking mobs while midair grants you the ability to float, and your third attack utilizes Final Blow, which also ignores 15% monster defense. Just like swinging on the ground, you are able to change the direction of your attack while floating. This will be useful to float above fatal attacks such as Lucid's Dragon Breath, and look, I swear I was on a phone call while I was recording this and that's why I ended up dying. But at least I didn't die to the Dragon Breath. It was to a golem instead. You will come to an abrupt stop when you change directions, but this will become handy in situations like Lotus's Phase 2 attack that pushes you upwards. Smash Swing can cancel that up push to remain on the ground as well as prevent you from overshooting your stop when flying across the map. You can also use Judgment Draw to snap you in place, or can provide that little extra vertical boost you need to get to the platform above by using the command keys up, left, attack to send Judgment Draw to the left, up, down attack to attack in place, and up, right attack to go right. If you're lonely like me and have no friends to play skip rope with, well, fear not, as you can force Lucid into skipping with you. Simply use Judgment Draw in the opposite direction of the lasers to teleport through it. See? Who needs friends when you have 2D Mushroom Game and Lotus? So now you can avoid Lotus's up push, but what about his horizontal push? Simply spam Final Blow using down attack to avoid the knockback, since the skill has super stance when using the command keys. Final Blow will also be a part of your main attacking kit for the rest of your Aran's life. And Gathering Hook is, well, it's used to gather mobs. It can also cancel attack animations, which comes in handy later on. Pro tip, since body pressure is not able to take out the pink whale's HP bar quickly, you can make the fight a little bit easier by using Gathering Hook to bring her downwards. If you thought we were done with the combat skills for the third job advancement, you couldn't be any more wrong. Adrenaline Rush enhances all of Aran's skills that has additional Adrenaline Rush effect in its description. So this includes Smash Wave, which sends out 3 little purple Fenrirs instead of 1 projectile. Final Charge leaves an ice trail behind you that freezes enemies, and Final Blow shoots out shockwaves. This is kind of like Super Saiyan mode, but for Aran, because once you hit 1000 combos, a flame border will appear momentarily to signal that your transformation is ready. Press the Adrenaline Rush Activate skill to trigger, and that's when all those previously mentioned skills get those additional effects. Your skill damage will increase by 150% while in this mode, attack count will increase by 2, and the maximum amount of monsters you hit will increase by 5. Adrenaline Rush lasts for 15 seconds, and note that you don't have to immediately activate it once you hit 1000 combo. You have 5 minutes before your combo count will be reduced back down to 800, meaning timing your burst shouldn't be an issue. After Adrenaline Rush ends, your combo count will be reset back down to 500. Now we finally finished with the combat skills for the 3rd job advancement and are left with our passives and Maha Blessing, which is a party buff that gives attack. Adrenaline Rush's uses don't just end there. In the 4th job advancement, we get 2 skills that are exclusively tied to being in this state. Hunter's Prey and Storm of Fear can be used while Adrenaline Rush is active, but only one of these can be activated each time. Generally, Storm of Fear isn't used except while training, but even then it's not a skill of choice. I use it when I'm feeling a bit lazy because you can hold this skill down and it'll suck every mob within its vicinity. You can choose to move left or right while doing the big suck, but you'll be moving at turtle speed. To activate it, you can either press down, left, right, attack to teleport to the right, or you can press down, right, left attack to teleport to the left. Make sure you hold down that attack key though until the tornado skill finishes, otherwise it will end as soon as you let go. Hunter's Prey is the finisher you'll be using the most, as this bad boy is the reason why you've been grinding hundreds of hours in the same map, in the same rotation, using the same skills, doing the same thing over and over and over again just to put yourself through that miserable pain called Starforcing. Please, please, please. How is this To watch more of that video, check the link down in the description below. Hunter's Prey is Aran's big burst skill and also their iframe. Activate it by pressing down, left, down, attack to initially look left, or down, right, down, attack. Again, you want to be holding down that attack key to charge the skill up, and it's important to note that you can change the direction of the attack just by pressing the arrow keys. This skill can be charged for up to 5 seconds, and you are invincible during that entire time. The damage is also increased by 100% for every 1 second spent charging, up to a max of 500%. It will only damage one monster, but the targeting prioritizes bosses with the highest max HP within range. You will be teleported to the targeted mob, which comes in handy for bosses such as Lucid because you can use this to teleport through golems and get yourself right up and personal to her. Beyond Blade can only be used immediately after Final Blow and is going to be Aran's main attacking skill for both training and bossing. This skill is probably the reason why people think Aran destroys your keyboard, but I think they're just unnecessarily spamming it, which is understandable because I thought you had to as well for the longest time. You can actually wait a whole minute before you press the next part of the Beyond Blade sequence. You can grind on some henny hoes, get Maya her medication for the millionth time, or even kiss your homies goodnight before having to press Beyond Blade again. You can even hold Beyond Blade down if you really wanted to. Downsides to this though, it sticks you in place and attacks slightly slower, but the option is there. Note that Beyond Blade has 100% crit rate, ignores 30% monster defense, and also has super stance. And then in Adrenaline Rush, Shockwave shoot out both in front and behind you. And then you have your usual buffs, Maple Warrior and Hero's Will. And your many passives. Moving into the hyper skills, Heroic Memories provides a 10% damage increase to all heroes in the party. Adrenaline Burst instantly activates Adrenaline Rush without having to reach 1000 combo beforehand. Maha's Domain is a giant AoE skill that hits multiple platforms above and below you. It seems to have a greater reach downward, so if a map has 4 platforms, I would place this on the row below the top platform so that it can hit all 4, if that makes any sense. This skill also restores 20% HP and MP every second to yourself and party members, as well as removes abnormal statuses, so it can be very handy for sticky situations while bossing. However, the healing effect doesn't work in Varishila or part 2 of Will, so be mindful of that. Maha's Domain's long casting animation can be cancelled by using Grappling Hook via the command keys. Actually, Grappling Hook can cancel most skill animations, so use that to cancel anything with long cast time. And to briefly go over the hyper skill passives, I would grab Frenzied Swing, Merciless Hunt, Surging Adrenaline, Beyonder Blade, and then Beyond Blade Barrage. Woo! We finally made it to the 5th job skills! I personally think Aran becomes 10 times more fun after this point, so if you haven't been enjoying pre-200, then hopefully you will join the ABC now. We finish off our full sequence of Final Blow and Beyond Blade with Fenrir Crash. It also has a 100% crit rate, ignores 50% monster defense, and provides that same super stance effect. This skill has a massive range which gets doubled with Adrenaline Rush as it shoots out giant icebergs in front. Maha's Carnage is an AoE skill that is not affected by attack reduction nor attack reflection. It does an additional 20% boss damage and has a cooldown of 20 seconds, which gets reduced by 50% when you have Maha's Fury buff active, lowering the cooldown to 10 seconds. Since this skill has a longer casting animation, I recommend using Grappling Hook to cancel it. You can activate Maha's Carnage by pressing down, down, attack, or just with the hotkey. Maha's Fury provides you with a juicy 35% attack power for 40 seconds, and upon using it, you instantly gain 80 combo, which can be useful for getting Adrenaline Rush up quicker. On top of that, a small tornado gets procced every 3 seconds after using any attack. Note that body pressure will proc the tornado, which is why I like to keep that toggle off, because you can use the tornado to strategically clear mobs while training, and body pressure ruins those opportunities. Blizzard Tempest is a 10-second bind that also does a whole lot of damage. Essentially what happens is once you use a skill, it creates a 20-second aura around the area it was casted in, which periodically curses up to 10 enemies with the Dire Wolf curse. Cursed mobs will be colored blue with an ice chunk above their head. Attack one of these mobs to rain icy hell down on up to 15 cursed enemies. The curse grows stronger and deals more damage when any of Aran's skills that aren't Storm of Fear hit them. For Trinodes, you want to be looking out for Smash Swing, Maha's Domain, Hunter's Prey, Final Blow, Final Attack, and Beyond Blade. I would say Freud's Wisdom is an absolute must because not only does it give you a nice damage boost, but it also provides a 30-second iframe, which is insane. Time this with your burst and you will be quite literally untouchable. Now I know Beyond Blade and Fenrir Crash already have a 100% crit rate, but that shouldn't stop you from striving to get 100% crit rate in general, because you want skills like Hunter's Prey to be critting every line. Now remember, getting 500 combo gives you crit rate, and then on top of that with decent sharp eyes, I should go up to roughly around 100. There we go, and that's why I would grab decent sharp eyes, but also because of the crit damage. Everything else is pretty self-explanatory, and you can kind of see what I use here. And that's gonna wrap up this guide. I hope you guys found this helpful and entertaining. If you guys want more guides like this but for other classes, please let me know down in the comment section below. I stream on Twitch a few times a week at twitch.tv/Atheris, or you can find the link in the description as well. Hope to see you guys there, and thank you once again for watching the video. It's been a while since I made one, and I've missed it a lot.